Hello everyone, welcome to the Northland Artist Conversation. My name is Mark Kelly, I am your host, your guide, and very shortly I'm going to be a registered marriage celebrant. Yay! That's actually pretty cool, I'm really stoked. Thank you for joining us for yet another amazing episode of the Northland Artist Conversation. We're still getting along. We've had some amazing guests on this year, and today's episode is no different. I'm going to flick to my camera here for the mid-shot sexiness. Stephen Davies is a painter, but I got the feeling from the podcast he's a little bit more multidisciplinary as well, having dabbled in a few other things. Super cool guy. Part of a wonderful collective of artists that's based out in Matakohe, which is in the Kaipara region of Northland, New Zealand, in the southern hemisphere, third rock from the sun. Their collective is called MGTO, and they haven't been going for very long, but they're building themselves up a bit of a reputation already. High level of professionalism, and very, very cool in what they're exhibiting. And some of the stuff he talks about towards the end of the podcast is just amazing. So I'm going to shut up so you guys can enjoy this. Let's sit down and have a conversation with Stephen Davies. Stephen.
Mark.
Hi. So enthusiastic. That's brilliant. Hey, look, thank you very much for joining us on the Northland Artist Conversation. I really appreciate you being the first of your collective to come out and sit down with us. Hopefully you'll go back with some positive feedback, saying he wasn't too much of a dick. The editor was actually very lovely. I don't know how she tolerates his shit. And we'll get more of you guys on, because you're a very cool collective group of artists that are sort of in the Kaipara region, if I understand that sort of correctly.
Yep, that's right. And thanks for the accolades. It's nice to hear something positive.
Absolutely. Well, so when we started this podcast 3 years ago, by the time this comes out, it'll be nearly 3.5. But when we started this podcast, we wanted to celebrate every type of artist throughout Northland. When we first started, it was a lot of reaching out to artists that I already knew and stuff like that. So the fact that you've taken the time for what I might add is not a unsubstantial drive to come in and sit down with us is very much appreciated. So thank you, because you're obviously not Whangarei based. You're based in...
Well, I'm based in Matakohe.
Yeah.
Yep. But the gallery, MGTO gallery, is in Matakohe, which is where the collective is based.
Yep. How many of you were in the collective?
There's 11 artists involved.
Wow. Do you all exhibit at the same time, or is it kind of like rolling exhibitions? How does that work?
It's all exhibiting at the same time. We generally have a themed sort of part of the exhibition, which is replenished every 6 to 8 weeks. And otherwise, there's everyone has work on show at all the time.
Wow. So we have had another artist on before by the name of Angela Rowe, and she's also part of a collective as well. Yours and hers sound very, very different in some ways. Do you find you're always sort of in that creative mode if you've got like a theme and a turnaround time, or do you just elect to go, well, I'm not going to exhibit anything for this one because I don't, for whatever reason, I don't know.
It certainly feel the need to be in the creative mode a lot more with the commitment to the gallery, and which is a good thing. I think it makes me put aside proper time to work on my practice, and because I want to have something new to put in
Yeah.
each
Right.
show
Okay.
and that. So so it's a good thing.
Yeah. As artists, many of us are excellent at procrastination, stalling, uh, what else? Imposter syndrome as well. We're all down to ability. If for someone like yourself who's part of a collective and they do have that sort of that's quite cyclical in nature, do you find that sort of drives and keeps you always at that creative edge, or do you fluctuate at times and do you have moments where you're like, nah, the well, she is empty?
I'm a believer that an art practice is work, and you've got to keep at it. It's not about waiting for the juices to flow. You've got to make them work, and so it's you've got to put the effort in, and treat it seriously in that regards.
Because it's, I mean, to be, I guess, an artist where you can make a living from it, you need to have that sort of structure and discipline in place. Yeah.
I would think so.
I don't. I've got a full-time job.
Yeah. Well, I think everyone in the collective generally is finding other streams of income to pay the bills.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So it's a part of being an artist in rural New Zealand, I suppose, is that you're limited in your where you can show and sell your work. So you try as much as possible to concentrate on producing art, which you can get an audience for and hopefully sell.
Yeah.
But you have to have other things going on as well.
What would you describe sort of as your main artistic discipline?
Probably painting at the moment.
At the moment?
Yeah. Well,
how many? Go on, embarrass me. How many others have you got? Because I have a very tiny niche.
Yeah.
And multidisciplinary artists are always fascinating.
Yeah. Well, I've always enjoyed painting, but when I was at art school, I concentrated on sculpture. Worked in that sort of area.
Yeah.
And which I think a good friend of mine sort of advised me when I was going to art school that make use of what they have on offer there, and preferably do an option which involves access to machinery and to things that you wouldn't necessarily have at home. So doing something like printmaking or sculpture or
I guess stepping outside of the comfort zone, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he basically said, you can paint any time without much. You don't need a lot. You need a canvas and some paints.
Yeah.
Or a piece of paper and some paints or whatever, and it's not a big ask. But if you're wanting to make sculpture, then having access to all sorts of different tools and furnaces and being able to learn how to cast something in bronze or those sorts of things are they involve a lot of kind of technical know-how, and so art school is a place which is full of people who have that you can learn from. So
yeah,
it was a good thing.
Speaking of school, let's sort of take it back. Were you one of those creative kids? Was the household creative, or the some of the artists that we've had on, it's always, it's like, I came from an incredibly creative household, or mum and dad did like finance and law or stuff like that. You don't really get a lot of middle ground. What was it like for you sort of growing up as a kid?
I think my mother was creative in the sense that she enjoyed doing craft sort of based things. So the obvious ones of knitting and crochet sort of thing. But
Yeah.
when macrame became a thing, she
Oh, yeah, yeah.
she sort of took that up and started doing that, and then she when we were living in Gisborne, she was very interested in Maori culture
Yep.
and took up Tanako weaving.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Wow.
and things like that, and was always willing to give things a go.
Yep.
And so she encouraged me in doing some of those things like macrame and leather work was things I used to make belts and
Oh, wow.
and
Yeah.
things like that and
Yep.
sell them to people. And my father was a carpenter by trade, and so I kind of grew up. I often sort of say that I did an apprenticeship by default on his tools almost.
Oh, yeah.
With
Yeah.
um,
You pick them up and you do think, yeah.
yeah. So I was always building things one way or another. So whether it was a trolley or a tree house or that sort of thing through and then as I got older, sort of renovating houses and that sort of thing.
Oh, wow.
Making furniture, those sorts of things. So, definitely some creativity there.
Yeah.
But not so much as far as specifically art and that.
Oh,
But,
okay. So when you were at school, were you a bit more academic, or were you like me and went there to eat lunch? I discovered bunking.
Yeah, school on the whole, I did reasonably well.
Oh, nice.
But my sort of I did art in the third and fourth forms, but
Yep.
fifth form, year 11 these days, I didn't do art, and so I did more things like history and
Oh, wow.
science, economics.
Oh.
Yeah.
What sort of, was there one thing that sort of made the change?
At Boys High in Gisborne, I had to.
Yes!
Um,
Sorry, I'm from Gisborne. I went to Gisborne Boys High as well.
yeah. Because I did reasonably well in fourth form, they'd put me into the top fifth form class, which was 6 subjects at the time, and
Oh, wow.
and they dictated 4 of the subjects.
Yeah.
And so the other 2 were the options, and I ended up taking economics and technical drawing, I think, at that time. And,
Oh, yeah.
so I sort of stopped art, and then we moved to Auckland at the end of the 5th form. So 6th form was at Auckland Grammar.
Right,
and,
yep.
Art was frowned on at that place, and I couldn't take it up after not doing it in 5th form anyway.
Oh, wow.
So,
yeah, crazy.
Yeah, so I left that behind, and and I think encouraged to sort of head down the engineering sort of architecture sort of route. And
That's craady. Okay.
Yeah.
So you come out of school, have you got like bursary or UE?
Yeah, UE 6th form certificate.
Yep. And then where do you go after school? Do you go down the university route, and what do you do there?
I went to ATI as it was then, which Auckland Technical Institute, which
Yep.
now become AUT.
Yeah.
And studied civil engineering. For a year.
Okay.
Then I because in those days it was NZCE, and you did the first year was full time study, and you got your sort of intermediate certificate in engineering at the end of that, and then you had 2 years part time to finish it. But I'd got a job at the Auckland Power Board of all places.
Well, okay. Yeah.
Where my father encouraged me to go for this particular job for some reason, and so I did and got it, and so I ended up changing to doing electrical engineering.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And that which I didn't quite finish.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Electrical engineering, so how long were you sort of doing that for, and then where did you move to from that point onwards?
Yeah, well, there's probably a couple of years of doing that part time whilst working full time.
Yeah.
Because that was sort of night classes, and I got also some time off work to go to classes as well.
Yeah,
but,
nice.
But ultimately, I was not particularly that interested in it, and more interested in art and music in
Cool.
in those days. And so
Yeah.
so I ended up sort of doing some night classes and painting and things like that instead.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, when did that sort of start coming back in? Because, you obviously made that transition in fifth form to sort of be less art focused, and then at Auckland, and then university, well, technical institute, and was art kind of still in the background for you while you're kind of going through those years? Is it like there, or have you kind of parked it at that point?
I'm still doing things. I was quite interested in sort of graphic design, and that I was doing airbrushing, sort of paintings and a bit of typography and that sort of. I was kind of interested in that sort of more graphic sort of thing, and I did a night school in graphic design as well, just an introduction sort of thing. Did apply to go to design school, but I missed out on that, and then sort of life got in the way a little bit,
as it does.
But I kept on doing things, and I kept up. I ended up doing my sixth form certificate in art at night school at at Massey College.
And this is all while working full time.
Yep.
For Auckland.
I moved.
You bounced around in jobs.
Yeah. I was at the power board for a while, but worked at a couple of other sort of electrical switchgear manufacturers and that sort of thing.
Okay.
But yeah, it was kind of working towards trying to do something more art related, and eventually ended up being able to move into the graphic design industry and become a graphic artist.
And when you kind of made that transition, were you, because obviously you've got to start out, right? Do you sort of start with a company? Are you self-employed? How did that sort of look for you?
I worked for a design company. So,
okay.
And that, which so I was able to essentially take my drafting skills, which I'd got at working in the electrical field,
right?
But a lot of it was behind a drafts, a drawing board, sort of thing. So, and when I started in the graphic arts side of thing, it was very much paced up sort of work where you're sitting at a drawing board cutting typography up and laying it out on boards and all that sort of thing, as well as doing mock-ups and visuals and all sorts of things.
And how different graphic design is nowadays.
Oh yeah,
so massively different. That's crazy. How long would you do the graphic design stuff for?
Well, was something which I still do, as far as bits and pieces for when it's needed.
Yeah.
If someone I know needs something done, I do it. So it's not not something you walk away from completely.
Never really left.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Okay. Now you said that you had went to art school.
Yep.
What's the one in Auckland? Is it White?
Elam.
Thank you. Is that where you went?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny. We've had it. Yeah, you will be, I think, our sixth guest that's been there.
Yep. It's a popular place.
Yeah, it seems very popular. But I guess that's kind of the prestige and the reputation that the school has, right?
Yeah. It's up there as far as art schools go.
Yeah.
In New Zealand. So it was my first choice of places to go.
Wow, nice.
and that. But I applied 3 times to get into it. So
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Third time's a charm.
yeah. Well, it was about being ready and having putting the work in to get a portfolio together,
Right.
and that was quite hard to do, working full time and all that sort of thing. So eventually I worked out that if I wanted to go to art school, I needed to stop my full-time job and put some time into developing my skills and portfolio, which is what I did.
Were you a graphic designer when you sort of made that transition?
Well, essentially, but yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I have a question for you. How old were you when you made that decision to go to the art school?
I was 30.
Wow.
Well, no, that's when I got in. I made the decision to go there probably quite a few years earlier when I was
Right, yeah.
'cause I remember actually one day giving my mother a lift to university. She studied, did a PhD at Auckland University, and remember driving her there and having a conversation about art for some reason, and she was telling me about a friend of hers whose daughter was at art school, and said that they were made to do this painting and they were only allowed to use red paint, and and how weird is that sort of thing? And I thought, that sounds really interesting. I'd love to be able to do something like that.
Getting your head around something like that.
And so I kind of had in my mind that art school was something that would be quite interesting to go to. But so but it took me a few years to sort of get there, I suppose.
Yep. I mean, when I did drama school, I was the second oldest in my class, and I was 23.
Yep.
But I'd done similar. I'd applied to a couple of different drama schools around the country, and I'd been rejected on both of those occasions because I didn't have enough life experience. And if I'm honest with myself, I don't really think I'd done the level of work that was required to even be able to go in and sort of start doing that. Because I'd done a lot of plays, I'd done music and stuff like that, but I'd never really understood like character development and that sort of stuff. So, and when you're 20, dare I say it, you don't really have a lot of life experience. Some people do.
Yeah.
I certainly wasn't.
Yep.
I came from a blue collar household, so I didn't really, there was mum and dad fought over what salami we were going to have in our buns on the weekend. It wasn't, not a lot of I guess real weird problems. I'm sure there were behind closed doors, but as a kid I wasn't really exposed to them. So wow, 30, that's very cool.
Yeah.
That's having that mindset is a big shift, because you go from the security and stability of having guaranteed money coming in to being, well, let's be honest, a student. You're broke, you're poor.
Well, I was married at the time, so it was
okay.
I was married at 22, so
wow, that's very cool.
One of the things which was, when I say life gets in the way, it was sort of getting married and having children at a young age, which I was. So that kind of did put priorities in me working, and that. But opportunity came later, which allowed me to go to art school at 30.
Yeah.
So
and wife obviously supportive as well.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, that's very cool and very important as well.
Yeah.
We've certainly had some stories where it's like, my partner and I separated, and I made they've made that tangential choice where it's like, they've worked, things have exploded and gone sideways, and then they've gone, fuck it, I'm going to do whatever the training is that they want to do at.
Yeah, well, that happened halfway through art school.
Because of course it did. Well, shit. That is very unfortunate.
Yeah. That's life.
That's life, right? And how long was the art school? It's a diploma degree.
It's a 4-year degree.
4-year degree. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And you obviously completed it.
Yeah.
With honours, or just you walked out of there going, "I survived."
Well, yeah. I walked out. No, it was good. It was great experience. And you meet artists, or who become close and dear friends through that. And it was a good, being 30. There was a good group of us who were mature students, is what I think they.
I think that's what the term they used. Yeah.
But, and which was good. We kind of we were the ones that were there from sort of 8 or 9 in the morning till 5 at night.
Yeah.
Every day, sort of thing. Whereas a lot of the younger students who were 18 or whatever, and first time living away from home and things like that.
I know where this is going.
Yeah. Well, often
A bit of a lack of discipline.
Yeah. Some of them you wouldn't see unless
No.
they needed to be there, absolutely. So,
Yeah.
But you're at art school for yourself, not for any other reason.
Yep.
So it's you don't worry about what other people are doing. You worry about what you're doing and concentrate on what you can do. And try and get the most out of it, because that's your life experience tells you that if if an opportunity comes along, make use of it. Yeah.
So you walk out of there with your degree after 4 years.
Yep.
And you've gone, right, that's it. I'm done with 2-minute noodles and Weet-Bix and bags of potatoes just to survive. What is your next steps?
Finding a job for me, because I still had a couple of kids that I needed to
Oh, you're right, yeah.
look after and things like that.
Yes.
So, yeah, and a friend of mine was working at the Auckland Museum in the display department, and
Oh, wonderful.
said, "Oh, they've got some work going if you want it."
Yeah.
And that, so so I went up and started working at the Auckland Museum, just on short-term contracts, that sort of for a redevelopment they were doing up there. But that was quite interesting work, sort of you using your skills that you learnt at art school, and
Yeah, nice.
and that, and so interesting place.
And was that like a fixed term contract, or did the contracts kind of keep renewing, and you were, this is the part where you go, I was on a short term contract and I ended up being there for 7 years. I don't know.
Yeah. No, just over a year, I think. That would have been about 4 contracts in that time.
Oh, wow.
So,
wow.
yeah, just, different. And so I started out in the display department, then ended up working in the history department as a history technician. Which,
Oh, that would have been interesting. And I get that would be quite cool, because that would have tied in what you were doing in like 5th form, yeah?
yeah, I couldn't remember anything I learnt in 5th form, really. Especially history. wasn't particularly interested.
That was awesome. So, okay, so you've done your time with the museum. Do you go out into the wide world as a self-employed artist, or are you like, well, I've still got to do XYZ for kids, so I need to find like a 9-to-5er type thing?
Yeah. Well. Yep. Absolutely.
To which part? There was multiple questions, and then you're like, "Yep, that happened."
Just wondering what to share. That's all.
You can share as much or as little as you want. It's totally up to you.
No, well, I needed to get a job or continue money coming in. So I did meet my current wife at the museum, working at the museum.
Oh, very nice.
So
very
nice.
nice.
Good. And we ended up buying a house together the following year after leaving the museum.
Yeah.
So,
Wicked.
I needed a job to pay for that.
Mortgages are funny things.
Yep. Yeah. So, the design industry was something which I was skilled at. So, so I ended up getting a job working for a design company again.
Wow,
So,
that's cool.
Yeah.
When you went back into the design industry, did you feel that you had more to offer that time around, having spent the 4 years in art school, or was it very much a case of, well, I did it for this number of years and I'm going to do it again, and there's that gap in the middle, and you're like, well, not a lot's changed. I mean, maybe computers come into the scene. I don't know, but was it one of those things where you were like, yeah, I can offer more value? And
I don't know that I necessarily thought that. It was just an option to provide income initially, and yeah, I didn't art school. What I did at art school was
very diametrically opposed.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
One of the things with which kind of pushed me into going to art school, I suppose, was that the design industry is all about selling stuff, pretty much. You're making it look pretty.
Yeah.
To sell, and so that's, for me, it's a problem in that, especially just the commodification but consumerism and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
It's just,
yeah.
So it's a thing. It's a creative industry, but it's kind of so I enjoy the creative side of it, but
not the business side of it.
Yeah, sort of thing. So yeah, it's a hard one, but
Well, it raises that great oh fuck, Jesus wept. It raises the great question of art and commerce.
Yep.
And I've certainly had that question asked of me. We've had a few discussions with other artists around art v commerce, and essentially having to marry the two, and finding a way that works for you as the individual, because you're going to put your heart and soul into whatever it is that you do creatively, and then you have to sit down and pick a number.
Yep.
And then you got to try and sell it.
Yeah, it's always a hard thing to deal with, and some people don't have any problems with it at all. It's just a natural thing that they see.
That's true.
But a lot of people, and I think especially like our collective at MGTO, a lot of people really struggled about that sort of the side of how do you value, how do I value what I do to the extent to put a monetary value on it, that someone is going to come in and kind of because it's also about where you see yourself as far as your work goes, the value that you are putting out there, it's a hard question that you sort of grapple with in that, and I think we talked about imposter syndrome.
100%.
Before, and
I've certainly had it, and I still get it from time to time. Even doing something like this, I feel like I'm a fraud, and people are going to find out, and the podcast is going to be taken away from me. It's not true.
Well,
I could. I mean, Editor Lee could.
Who's that at the door?
It's the content police. They've come to take me away. I think imposter syndrome is a very real thing with creative people. I mean, so for the last couple of years, I've hosted. Well, I've been very fortunate enough to be invited to MC the Rayburn House calendar competition they've had, and they've had it for a number of years.
Yep.
And when I MC it, I always look at the work. Last year, I was actually asked to judge, And that was a huge honour for me because I can't paint to save my life.
Oh, perfect choice then.
Yeah, exactly right. Like if Satan rose from the ground and said, can you draw Knight Rider looking side on from when I was a kid, I could still draw that like a champion. If he asked me to draw a front on version, I'd like, nah, just take me away now, bud, we good. But imposter syndrome's a very real thing, and have you ever suffered from it? Do you? From time to time?
Well, I think it's always you kind of it's about questioning the worth of what you do in that, and I think you're constantly evaluating it as an artist. That's what you do with your work. You're always trying to get better.
Yeah.
In that, and so that's sometimes that gives you a bit of that sort of feeling of imposter syndrome. It's you sort of feel like that's not very good. That's that could be so much better.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you sometimes if it's been particularly arduous sort of task of trying journey through painting something or creating something, you might sort of think, well, fuck.
Yeah.
And question your ability to get through. But
I've had that a few times.
Yeah, I know. So I kind of have an inner belief in my ability that kind of keeps me going. I know that not everything I do is going to be successful, and it's about trying to look at it in that light. That what can I take away from it? What can I learn? What can I do better? What how did I fuck up that time that I don't want to repeat?
Learning from mistakes, right?
Yeah,
it's always the important thing. How did you become part of MGTO, the collective? How did that all kind of come about?
MGTO's the genesis of it started with a small number of the chosen 11 who were doing some volunteer work in Matakohe. Sort of they were working on the gardens, the sort of the public gardens in Matakohe. And
Excuse me. Yep.
So they were chatting to each other and worked out that they were all artists. So most of the people in that sort of people volunteering to do the gardens were actually artists.
Yeah.
And so they, I think, sort of started talking about what was available in Matakohe in that regards, and they, I think it was Dave Gunson sort of said it would be great to have an actual space for exhibiting and showing work here.
Yeah.
And the others that were there sort of thought, yeah, why not?
Seems like a good idea.
Yeah, and so they started the process of looking and decided that, I think so. I knew some of the people involved, and so they sort of made contact and said, would I be interested in being a part of something? And I said, yeah, sounds great.
So how long have you guys been going for now?
I think we opened in April
this year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we started. We got showing the basement of the church in Matakohe, which had previously been an op shop.
Yeah, right.
And they'd moved out and into a different premises, and that kind of sparked something, because it seemed like it had a lot of potential and would actually function really well as a gallery if put a bit of elbow grease into it. And so we started to, we took it on, and the church were very supportive of us and said it'd be great to have someone using it in a good way. They didn't put any conditions on in regards to content or anything that we do down there.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah.
We're all sensible people, being artists.
Yes, all artists are sensible.
So, no, but I think certainly the members of the group who are from Matakohe are very community focused.
Yes.
And it's a small community, and so they approach things with what's good for the community, sort of thing. So that's our approach as a collective, is to present something which is for a start, which is professional and well done, and adds something to the community.
If I, if I'm on State Highway 1 heading north, how do I find the gallery?
So if you're heading north from Auckland, at the bottom of the Brynderwyns, there's a little road off to the left, which is called State Highway 12.
And that's got what used to be like an old cafe or roadhouse on the corner? That's that one, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And might have signs to Mangataroto or Dargaville or something like that. So
it's got something.
Yeah, something. And so you head off there, and it's about might be 5 to 7, maybe 7 minutes away from on State Highway 12 as you wind through a few along the road a bit and go up a hill into Mangataroto, and as you're getting towards where the shops are in Mangataroto, on the left, just before a sharp left.
So it's before the sharp left.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it the white church?
It's a red brick church with a white basement.
Yes.
And inside that white basement is the best thing in Mangataroto.
Yeah.
It's the MGTO gallery.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So you, I believe Michelle reached out to. Was it Dave?
Yeah, I think so.
And then Dave was like, "Yeah, go on, you do this." Well, not really. There's a bit more to it than that. But so that's cool. Yeah, we'd love to have more of the collective on. That'd be cool. It's always nice to profile artists that are kind of always, putting stuff out. I say to everyone, as soon as you put something in the public sphere, you're an artist. So we always try and encourage people to actually go out and do it. That's very cool, man. What have you guys got sort of going on at the moment? What's coming up?
So at the moment, the gallery, we've got a small works show. Mm-hmm. So we've got one of the main wall in the gallery is dedicated to small works, and that's. Yeah, so it's a variety of media, from ceramics through to painting, prints, photography, and even sort of sculptural works as well, which it's one of our artists, Rudy Vanderpoel. He works in copper, so he makes assemblages and kind of quite intricate, three-dimensional works.
Wow.
Really, really quite cool stuff. But so interesting. A wall of interesting works.
And do you sort of know what the next one or next two might be?
Yep. Yeah, we've had a bit of a think tank about what.
Good.
Sort of things we wanted to do. So
please let our listeners and viewers know about the exclusives.
First week of July, we have a new show, which is After Dark.
Okay.
And is the title.
Yep.
And it's up to each artist to approach that in whatever way they want. So it can be, very specific or very oblique. It doesn't worry us, but that's the thing that we're going for. And so we'll have a refresh of the gallery.
Nice.
With that, and so we've kind of planned that every 6 to 8 weeks we will have a different show.
Yeah. So the next one would be sort of September. give or take?
Yeah, I suppose July, August. So, yep, around the end of August, beginning of September. So we want to do a collaborative
Yeah, that'd be cool.
show where we work together on things. So that's in early stages of planning at the moment.
That's very cool.
So yeah, it's just we're trying to be ambitious with some of the stuff that we do. And that requires a bit of thinking, bit of lead-in time.
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
get things cranking. So it's because we are a relatively new thing.
Yes.
We're still learning about how we function as a collective, and the best way of doing things, and timings for between shows.
Yeah, right.
Even things like when we're open specifically, and that's it, because we each take turns at manning the gallery as part of our collective responsibilities.
Okay, cheeky question. Question for you.
Yep.
And it could relate to the other members of the collective as well. When you're manning the gallery and say someone comes in, are you like going, oh, so I'm an artist and here is some of my work. It's very reasonably priced. Would you like to part with your hard-earned money now? Is there an artistic bias? There's probably not, but
no.
Sometimes.
What normally happens is that people that come in, when you tell them about the gallery, if they don't know, they're interested in what you've got in the room.
Okay.
So that's generally how it comes about, as far as talking about my work specifically. It's they sort of say, often they might just start by saying what they like about what's on show and that sort of thing, and then they'll sort of talk about what or ask questions about who you are and what the hell are you doing there. But so, and a lot of people are very interested in finding out a bit more, and so we try and sort of have some knowledge about everyone and what they're doing, and that sort of thing.
That'd
as
be
well.
important.
So it's because we don't mind people coming in and not buying anything, and we don't mind people coming in and buying someone else's work.
Yeah,
that's all good. But we especially love it when they come in and buy.
What is the general feedback from the community been?
Oh, it's been very positive.
Yeah,
people are very very supportive.
That's cool.
And I was talking to Terry, so one of our members of our collective, who's not part of the 11, but she's the 12th. She's a really great supporter of the gallery, and does a lot of work for Matakohe as a
kind of the champion.
Yeah. So she's so she mans the gallery sometimes as well.
Oh,
so,
that's cool.
So she was in there the other day when we sort of dropped in, and sort of saying, well, I haven't heard anyone with any sort of negative
awesome.
Sort of comment on.
That is very cool.
On what we're presenting and what we're doing. So it's been really good. So
yeah, it's awesome to see regional places doing stuff like that, because there's it could almost run to that point where it's like whangarei, kiri, it would be like the two biggest parts of Northland will only exhibit there. But there's an art gallery in Dargaville.
Yep.
And then you guys have started up your one as well. It's really cool to see a bunch of people get together and go, you know what? Let's do something different.
Yep.
And let's do something cool.
Yeah.
And that's really powerful.
Yeah. And we definitely wanted to do something which was had really good high standards. Was quite kind of one of the important things for us, that we wanted to start off with really sort of professional level of presentation
Yep,
of
right.
work, and keep the work at a high
Yeah,
high
nice.
standard. So
Yeah. Stephen, thank you so much for coming and sitting down with us. And if anyone's watching or listening, MGTO
Yep.
in Mangataroto. Well, actually, before you kind of hit Mangataroto, well, it's in Mangataroto.
It's in Mangataroto.
Well, fuck it, it's called Mangataroto. We'll call it. It's in Mangataroto. Highly recommend going and having a look at it. But thank you so much for coming in, sitting down. This has been awesome. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. It's been great to be here.
There you go, everyone. Stephen Davies, amazing guy, super cool. Off camera, I have to say there was just a shitload of laughs, and it was so, even a few laughs on camera as well. Just such an awesome dude. It was really cool to be able to sit down with him. I'm going to invite Editor Lee into the conversation. Hi.
Yo.
Oh, really? Very ghetto of you. How have you been?
Great.
Excellent.
Yeah.
What did you get? At the end, we sort of like to wrap up around and have a bit of a discussion around the guests. What did you kind of get out of the conversation with Stephen from tonight? What was your takeaway out of it?
Like the thing that struck most with me, obviously, is the fact that he's part of a collective.
Yeah,
And I was thinking about it as he was talking about it, and then I was like, well, to be fair, we're kind of like a collective.
we are.
So I was gonna say I want to be part of one, but then I was like, I kind of am part of one.
You already are.
So take
Yeah.
that off the bucket list.
Absolutely.
Also, I just like, I kind of have like, it's not an envy, but it's like when anyone says they've gone to like an actual art school, I'm like, man, I wish I could have experienced that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, yeah, I've studied art, but it wasn't an art school. It was an institution that had
Yeah.
art as a subject.
Yep. Yeah, definitely a bit of education envy on that one.
Yeah.
The one thing that I found the most fascinating was, and you know what? He didn't even drop it in the podcast. He dropped it in as the last question of the rapid fire when he talked about being on a sailing ship coming from Papua New Guinea back to New Zealand and then encountering like a huge storm and then realizing how small and insignificant he was compared to the power of the ocean. And I was like, wow, that's, I will be honest, it's the first time I've heard something like that. I mean, I don't think it's every day that you run into someone who's done kind of something of that magnitude and that scale.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're listening or watching this, I highly recommend going and checking out our Facebook page or our Instagram page for the rapid fire, because there's a lot of really interesting nuggets in there that we're sort of like, it's like, whoa, where did that come from? And he just kind of dropped them along the way. Like he was a musician in school. We didn't even talk about that in the podcast. It's like, wow, that's very cool. So yeah, you never know where all of the awesome information's going to come from. As I said before, finding us on our social media. I'll give you guys a quick rundown now on where you can find us for everything. For the visuals, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, all Northland Artist Conversations somewhere around here. And for audio, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube Podcasts. Again, all Northland Artist Conversation. And if you want to make your life super simple, just open up your web browser of choice, Edge, Chrome, Opera, DuckDuckGo, whatever you use, and just type in Northland Artists Conversation. You'll find us. We're always at the top because we are just that awesome. That's me throwing the thumbs up to the camera. And if you're an artist, or you know someone that would be awesome on the podcast, or even if it's someone you'd like to see on the podcast, hey, just flick us an email. The address is hello@northlandartistconversation.co.nz, or send us a message through our socials, whether it's on a video or Facebook or Instagram, and we'll get to it 100%. We're pretty good like that. So thank you very much for supporting us, everyone. I'm going to flick to my my wide camera now. Editor Lee.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Have you got anything awesomely creative that you're sort of working on at the moment?
Yes, I've got like a bunch of stuff I'm writing down.
Excellent.
Yeah, but lately I've just been like going back into reading webtoons.
I'm sorry, who?
Webtoons. Do you know what a webtoon is?
I have no clue.
So
I'm
it's
going to
like-
show my age here.
So it's like a graphic novel, right? You know.
Okay,
graphic
I know,
novel, but they're like online.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and it's like a app called Webtoon. Yeah, and I just like I know some of my friends like that are trying to make their own. I don't know if I could personally do that though, because you've literally got to draw everything. Like it's like a comic. You got to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool,
Yeah,
though.
and I'm like, I'm obsessed with like some stories, like Sub-Zero, for example, Suit of Armor. Those are really good.
Sub-Zero, the character from Mortal Kombat?
Nah, it's the
All
name
right
of
then.
the webtoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Also that, and I've just been like,
Yeah.
like how just to quote our guest earlier, how he said he had like 1,000 art books.
Yes.
I was like, I only have like 20, so I want to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
I ordered one recently.
Oh, wicked.
It's the Berserker Collector's Edition, so it's all 12 volumes.
Of a comic called The Berserker?
Yeah, Berserker. So Berserker is Keanu Reeves' graphic novel.
Oh, yeah. Okay, right.
Yeah, so it's the collector's
Say
edition.
no more. The collector's edition.
Yes.
Does it come like in a bougie box set?
It's like in a massive. It's like a massive.
Oh, how,
Yeah.
we'll. I'm going to wrap up the podcast so we can talk about this a little bit more because I do quite enjoy the bougie box sets. On behalf of myself, editor Lee, and producer Andrew, engineer Steve, and the rest of the amazing Northland Artist Conversation team, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Mark Kelly. I am your host, and I'll see you guys real soon.